the Australian government has introduced a new app which you can download onto your phone, and it basically enables you to talk to other phones about who you've been in contact with, and if you are diagnosed with COVID-19, you can then quickly inform others that they've been exposed potentially to COVID-19 and they should self-isolate. Is this a good thing in your mind? And what are the limitations of it? What are the opportunities with it?
I think it's an excellent thing. I think it's been executed very well as well. Obviously, there's a few questions that people have. I think most people's worry about the government tracking them is more, maybe I'm doing a little bit more social activity than I probably should be in terms of others. But there's obviously a bigger risk, but obviously most people aren't going to be so concerned about it. I'm doing things I shouldn't be doing, and they'll be able to track that. But one thing I think is really interesting, and I'm really impressed with thinking around it, it's not actually geo tracking at all. It's not getting a latitude and longitude and sending it to some central server somewhere. That's not how it works. It's done on Bluetooth, and it just sort of uses the low, the Bluetooth technology that it has to determine who is near to you. And then it just records that. My understanding is it sort of stays on the phone until, I could actually be wrong with that, but my understanding is they can't actually access it. And like anything, there are bugs in it. Like all software, there are bugs in it.
It's new, right? I mean, it's only been out a week.
It's brand new, and it's been rapidly built too. And I think they've done a fantastic job of it. I think there's been a lot of discussion saying it's safe. It'll only be used for this. It'll only be used for that. I don't know whether the community understands whether or not that's just something that is being said or is written into law. But one could argue that if it's been said by enough people on camera, that regardless of whether it's in law or not, you could take it as being written. But there is one massive disappointing aspect to it, I think, and this is actually a challenge that we've had as well. iOS and Android are the two big players in terms of phones. Android will happily run applications in the background. You can do like location tracking. This Bluetooth contact tracing can run that in the background, no problem. If you have an Apple phone, however, the app will not run in the background, or will only run in the background for a little bit of time until the device decides, you don't have enough memory, I'm going to kick that out. You're now watching YouTube. So it just goes away. And so I don't know if anyone who's got an Apple, every morning you wake up and you get your friendly COVID message, basically saying, hey, open your app. And the reason for that is that if the app is not open, it's not actually detecting who's around you, which in my eyes makes it kind of useless. So I understand how that works from a technical standpoint. And if I go up to the supermarket because I have to do some shopping right now, there's no way that's on my mind. There's no way I'm going to open it and just sort of put it in my pocket open. And if it, I walk from the car to the shops, back to the car, there would have been so many people that I went past there. If I just turned it on once and sat there for a couple of minutes, there's no way. It just wouldn't have happened.
It's not practical to do that, right?
No, but I do understand they're working with a technical constraint. This is something that we've seen. Part of our software is customers like to they like to welfare tracking. So if someone's in a distressed situation, they can press a button on their phone and it can track their location so that people can come and help them.
Oh wow! So it works the other way as well, right? So
it does. Well, that particular one that on our software uses your geocoding, or uses your latitude and longitude to basically determine that. So it is a little bit different, and then reports that back as you go. Now, Apple have a way to do that in the background. It's kind of a service that's offered up to apps, so that's how we can do it there. But yeah, it is a challenge. Apps do not want to run in the background, and for good reason too. I mean, could you imagine if every app you had was running in the background? Your device would be running very slow.
I believe they're working on a fix for this. I read something in the press today saying they're working on a fix between Google and Apple to somehow make this thing work.